The Women's Business Center of Richmond would like you to join us for our weekly Winning with WOW radio broadcast, hosted by yours truly, Dr. Danny, on ESPN Richmond 106.1 FM. Each segment features a woman boss who shares aspects of her entrepreneurial journey, designed to enlighten, uplift, and inspire. If you have business ownership aspirations, let us help. We can be reached at the WBC Richmond on our socials or thewbcrichmond.org, or you can call us at 804-525-9499. Good morning, and thank you for joining the WBCR's Winning with WOW radio broadcast. I am your host, Dr. Danny, and today is an exciting day. We just had a phenomenal International Women's Day, and I'm fired up to speak on behalf of at least the women's for which my demographic falls in there, and says that it is about time for us to break barriers, to put away biases, which is the theme for the National Women's History Month. And I'm just so excited to have an opportunity to represent the Women's Business Center of Richmond and all that we do to advance women in their business aspirations. The Women's Business Center of Richmond is located on the campus of Virginia Union, and it has its own history. Its history and its background in making it through difficult times, and not focusing on the difficulties, but focusing on being able to have a positive impact on the communities in which we all live and work. Particularly at this time, I'm excited about the women who have paved the way for business ownership, for educational parity, those who have laid down in the streets that have allowed other women to cross over on dry land when it comes to fighting against the rights for voting and things of that nature. Our voice is very powerful. We hold up half of the world, and it's about time that we stop asking for permission for being everything that we are and just be, right? So we are enough. If I don't know if I say that any louder. Women, we are enough. We birth children, we lead campaigns, we right wrongs, we make laws, we do everything that we need to do, and we don't need permission to do any of it. I wanted to start off today and share a little bit about the background of Women's History Month. Because, things that have, the history element sometimes get lost. And sometimes we just get caught up in the moment and we just say it because it's popular. But history matters. So I want to share a little bit about the effort. Every year, March is designated Women's History Month by presidential proclamation. We know about proclamations. We know about every year people, having to make a stance as opposed to it being institutionalized. But I'm thankful that I am a part of a system where we're going to recognize it whether the proclamation is there or not. So this month is set aside to honor women's contribution to history in America. But, like I said before, yesterday was International Women's Day, so this recognition goes worldwide. Women's History Month began as a local celebration in Santa Rosa, California. The educational force of the Sonoma County Commission on the Status of Women planned and executed a Women's History Week celebration in 1978. Fast forward, thereafter, there were a number of Women History Week celebrations around the country until 1980, when a consortium of women's groups and historians led by the Women's History Project, which is now known as the National Women's History Alliance, successfully lobbied for national recognition. And so in February of 1980, President Jimmy Carter, here we go again. Jimmy Carter went down as one of the presidents that, could have done some more. But the truth of the matter is he's done more after being president than he gets credit for when he was president. But this is another thing that he did. He issued the first presidential proclamation declaring the week of March 8th, 1980 as National Women's History Week. Subsequent presidents continued to proclaim a Women's History Week in March until 1987, when Congress passed a public law 100-9. Will we ever see a Congress that can be that united again? 100-9, designating March as Women's History Month. And I guess I want to say something about those 9. They didn't go anywhere. They're still out there who would oppose recognizing women's contribution. Between 1988 and 94, Congress passed additional resolutions requesting and authorizing the president to proclaim March of each year as Women's History Month. And since 1995, each president has issued an annual proclamation designating the month of March as Women's History Month. And so I would just say that when I think about some of the things that we do well in this country, we do things well when we have the right people in office to make decisions that would celebrate those things, particularly the contributions of women. And I'm thinking about the women in Ukraine. I'm thinking about Brittany Griner over in a Russian prison. I'm thinking about those women who, against all odds, pushed forward to get what we have earned and to make a statement so that our young daughters have something to stand on and they're not standing in a hole. And so this past week, I spent a couple of 3 days on Capitol Hill visiting a number of congresspersons. Shout out to Representative Burr, Senator Burr, Senator Warner, Representative McEachin. Who else did we go see? Senator Joni Erst. We were working on, we being the Association for Women Business Centers, led by our trusted CEO, Corinne Hodges. We were seeking to advance the reauthorization of the Women's Business Center program within the United States Small Business Administration, and also looking for supporters and co-sponsors in the Senate for not just the reauthorization, but to modernize the Women's Business Center program by upgrading it to the 2022 Act, HR 6441. So if you're not familiar with it, get familiar with HR 6441 and reach out to your congresspeople and let them know that we believe that this program that was started over 30 years ago, I want to say somewhere on the order of 34 years ago, it was Congress authorized $150,000 to be granted to women's business centers who applied and were the recipients of that grant. And they had a responsibility of doing 100% match at that time, so that we could advance and support women's businesses. Most people, or most of you all as listeners, may have heard that the female demographic of entrepreneurialism has been growing at a faster rate than our male cohorts. And over 50% of the female growth in entrepreneurship is represented by women of color. And so we believe that in 30 years, would you work a job and you've never had a raise? Silence. The crickets are crying out. The rocks are yelling, no. And so we believe that if HR 6441 was to be passed, then the women's business centers that exist, there's 140 across the US, soon to be over 150. They're throughout every state except Alaska. And again, that should be rectified with this next move of the Small Business Administration. But in having the additional resources, we know that every dollar that gets spent through a Women's Business Center grant generates more than $2.50 in economic impact. And that's not trivial. And so that we want to start to be able to do more, because women not only run businesses to create wealth for their families and themselves, women pour it back into communities. And we believe that women's businesses, well, all business, but let's say women's businesses are good for communities because it goes into the communities that have meaning. And so the flexibility that some women have for, being a business owner themselves in terms of managing their schedule, managing their household, we believe that that productivity and that quality of life and that balance is what has such a positive impact on our community. So I'm gonna get off of that soapbox, but just as a reminder, HR House Bill 6441 is what you want to take a look at as we look to modernize the Women's Business Center program that is out of the United States Small Business Administration. Now, getting back to the tactic of hand of how women take little and make much out of it. I would like to say that, speaking personally of coming out of a household with a mother who is an entrepreneur, and I saw the work ethic that went into my mother and her business. She was a cosmetologist. She taught cosmetology, but she also managed and her own salon. And she is responsible for a number of women's in the greater Richmond area getting their license in cosmetology and opening their own business. She believed that she should be in control of her own destiny. And that's what I think women in business means. We are taking control and we are dictating how we are valued, whether it's for our products and our services or just the knowledge that we have. And I'm so excited because I get an opportunity to work with outstanding women every day. Every day, I'm talking to women and other minorities who are in business, who have decided that they want to become their own CEO. So whether, like earlier today, there's a cohort that is being led by a collaboration between the Women's Business Center Richmond, the SBA, the SBDC, Small Business Development Center, along with SCORE, to deliver a comprehensive soup to nuts program and toolkit on how to become your own CEO, not just in name, but in the success of your business and thriving. And so when we think about putting all of those pieces together, having your marketing plan, having, being bankable, understanding how to manage for financial success, that doesn't just mean that you have an accountant that tells you what your cash flow is, but you can read and you can create cash flow documents, balance sheets, income statements. You have the ability to speak to what it is that you need when you're looking to become capitalized, all the way down to protecting your intellectual property and your brand value proposition. All of those elements are in those programs. And so I have the opportunity of working with phenomenal women who are taking their ideas, putting goals to it and metrics and executing that business plan. So again, shout out to all of those entrepreneurs that are out there, particularly the women and particularly the women who seek services through the Women's Business Center of Richmond. Another thing that I would like to mention is about the Women's Business Center collaboration and work that we do with the Virginia Union University, particularly in the area of the Sidney Lewis School of Business. Shout out to Dr. Robin Davis, the Dean of the School of Business there. We are engaged in a shift cohort program that she created for the purposes of advancing the entrepreneurial mindset within the student population. We've done things with a youth entrepreneur summit that brings in the Richmond Public School System students. And if you haven't caught on to it yet, understand that this is the groundwork so that we can have an air game, right? So if we lay a foundation where students at the secondary and even in the primary grade levels come up and they have this idea about business ownership, whether they go into the corporate arena or if they decide to start their own business, we want them to be more successful than not. 75% of the students in the entrepreneurial and managerial curriculum at Virginia Union degree program are women. And so again, it puts a pin in the fact that we are looking to drive forward and not just be a passenger, right? We have the ability and the capability to be successful on all levels. And so I just have to shout out to the students that we have, Victoria and Jessica, as interns that support the Women's Business Center of Richmond. And then the entire administration, Dr. Hakeem Lucas and his support and his staff, Dr. Carter at Virginia Union, who make things go well and smoothly, Dr. Jackson, who is also always ever so helpful when we are looking to advance our programs. So that being said, we will look forward to seeing all of you as we want to then go forward and talk a little bit about our April event, our conference that we are holding, the inaugural Winning with Women and Minorities Entrepreneurs Conference. That conference is going to be held April 27th, 28th, 2022 at the Greater Richmond Convention Center. Again, it will be a day and a half of phenomenal business exchanges where we celebrate and we elevate local businesses in the Greater Richmond area. And we include a highlight on content from many of the counties that are surrounding the area. I want to call particular attention to the keynotes that we have on the first day of the event. We will start out with a business expo. That business expo or business pop-up is going to take place at the convention center between 12 and 3 p.m. It is open to all to come and participate and support, whether you are registered for the conference or not. And yet we have a very low and competitive registration rate for vendors and exhibitors. So if you have a business in the Greater Richmond area and you want to be seen, you want to be involved, you want to be engaged, reach out. Go to winningwithwomenconference.org and you can find a link that you can register to become a vendor at that event. Again, that is going to be on April the 27th, starting at noon. After that, we'll have a reception. This VIP reception is a short interlude right before we go into our Entrepreneurs Awards Gala. And that is going to be phenomenal. Another shout out that I have to give is to Shara Gibson, the program director for the Women's Business Center, and Nikki Bland. Nikki is working on the vendors, and Shara is helping us get ready as it relates to the gala in and of itself. So again, time is now for a call to action for nominating area business owners, and you can self-nominate. Don't miss out. There are 4 award categories. We have the WOW Award, we have the Value Creator Award, the Enabler Award that's focused on resource partners, and then we have the Corporate Leadership Award. So again, on the other side of the commercial, I will share a little bit more about this conference that you do not want to miss.
Henrico is cultivating a community that will fuel your tomorrow. It's not just where we are, it's where we can take you.
This is Danielle Fitzhugh, the president of the Chesterfield Chamber of Commerce. Listen to us on Chamber Wednesday as we talk about how to promote, protect, and invest in Chesterfield businesses. Tune in to 106.1 on Wednesdays for Chamber Wednesday so you can listen to how we can support, invest, and promote your business right here in Chesterfield County. Find the Chesterfield Chamber of Commerce at chesterfieldchamber.com or on all of your social media accounts at Chesterfield Chamber VA.
My name is Jimmy Comer, co-owner of RBI Services. RBI can help businesses and individuals with their accounting, tax, and insurance needs. With over 20 years of experience, we will properly guide you at a fair price. Whether you need accounting, tax preparation, or insurance, contact us to see why we say at RBI. It all begins with the relationship. Call us at 804-677-9516. RBI is a proud supporter of Better Together as they help support families of children with complex illnesses.
The Women's Business Center of Richmond would like you to join us for our weekly Winning with WOW radio broadcast, hosted by yours truly, Dr. Danny, on ESPN Richmond 106.1 FM. Each segment features a woman boss who shares aspects of her entrepreneurial journey, designed to enlighten, uplift, and inspire. If you have business ownership aspirations, let us help. We can be reached at the WBC Richmond on our socials or thewbcrichmond.org, or you can call us at 804-525-9499.
Launch Entertainment Park is hosting an awesome dodgeball tournament to benefit the American Heart Association on Friday, April 8th from 6 to 10 p.m. This idea was inspired by one of their managers who has received the support and services of this association. Join us as a team, individual, or vendor. For more info, visit bit.ly/dodgeball tournament 2022 or call 804-419-5753, 419-5753.
Winter weather is here. Get your car ready with the trusted crew at Sean's Auto Express today. Don't risk being stranded with loved ones in the car or even by yourself. The experts at Sean's will keep you on the road and riding safely with complete preventive maintenance, quality customer care, and pricing that's fair. Sean's is veteran.
To youth from Richmond's East End and offer the highest quality screen printing at affordable prices. Visit onpointprintsrva.com for more information.
And we're back. We're back with the WBC Richmond's WOW radio broadcast at ESPN Richmond 106.1. I am your host, Dr. Danny. I'm not a medical doctor, but we do kind of get into some, cutting up some things and checking the pulse on business and trying to figure out. And today we're just raring to go when it comes to women in business and women in sports and women in the world. Again, I like to say that women hold up half the world. So it's important for us to recognize that our contributions are very much needed. And there's a saying that says that your gift will make room for you. So we want to encourage women's entrepreneurs to, put the pen to paper. And once you do that, you have some goals and some milestones and some measurables, launch that business. You can find us at thewbcrichmond.org. You can reach out to us and give us a call at 804-525-9499, or you can email us at wbc-richmond@theinstitutenc.org. Again, the Women's Business Center of Richmond offers probably 95% of our services are free of charge, and we're partially funded by the SBA, and we're looking to help you turn your ideas into a reality, not just to launch a business, but to actually thrive in business. And our first annual conference is taking place August the 27th and 28th at the Richmond Convention Center. And we're going to feature a couple of keynotes. Dr. Cheryl P. Williamson, multiple best-selling author, media mogul, will be the keynote at the Entrepreneurs Gala Awards session on that 27th. She's just going to bring it. I can't tell you all that she is doing, but I will tell you that you will be blown away. I think we're also going to do another radio stint with her in April, right before the event. And then we also have Miss Angel Rich. Doesn't that sound good? Angel Rich. She started the Get Wealthy Life program, and she has a Credit Rich app that has taken Wall Street to the next level in some areas. She's often thought about as the next Steve Jobs, and she's going to be speaking at the Women on Wealth Luncheon on the 28th. So you need to get your tickets now. Unfortunately, the early bird registration has passed, but if you know me, Dr. Danny, you hit me up on email, I might just give you a code for you to be able to get a discount. So, but yes, we definitely want you. We're on Eventbrite, on all of the calendars in the area. You'll start hearing us a little bit more on the radio stations. We also have elevation sessions. Like I said, we want to celebrate and elevate area businesses and business owners. And so we have on our economic development panels. It's going to feature the City of Richmond, Miss Pat Foster. Shout out to Pat Foster in the City of Richmond Minority Business Development Office. We're going to have Danielle Fitzhugh from the Chesterfield Chamber. She's going to facilitate one of those entrepreneurial sessions. We also have Jan Fiera from LISC, who's going to be with us. I want to, let's see, some of the other speakers that are going to be there. Ebony Atkins from Henrico County. Again, check us out on the website, winningwithwomenconference.org. You can find out more about the events that are going to be happening, the individuals who are going to be there. You can register, you can nominate business owners for the awards ceremony. You don't want to be left out, because I'm going to tell you, next year tickets are going to be sold out early. So right now, get your tickets for the Winning with Women and Minorities Entrepreneurs Conference. I am your host, Dr. Danny. It's been real. Thank you so much and have a great day. Well, you're so kind.